Hey guys, Duke here, and I wanted to talk to you today about the Sigmarus, the Water Phoenix. And this was my very first 5-star mob. It was the first mob I fused, and actually when I fused it, I was one of the first to do so. A lot of people called me a noob back then. This is over a year ago. They were saying that, Sigmarus is terrible, etc., etc., and so I wanted to show that Sigmarus really has quite a lot of value, especially for newer players. So you can see the stats of my Sigmarus here. To be honest, I did give a lot of his runes to Perna, who I recently summoned. As you can see, here's my new Perna, who has a lot more attack and crit, etc., and crit damage. But I still had some leftover runes for Sigmarus, and I have a rune right now, Violent Blade, with speed, attack, and crit damage. So let's take a look at the skills. The first skill is cool. It does a pretty good bit of damage, and it only starts out with an 18% chance, but with skill ups you can see you add an additional 30% chance to stun, which means you're going to be at a 48% chance. It's almost half of the time you're going to be stunning with this first skill, which is pretty useful for CC. The second skill is also great for CC. Notice it only has a 2-turn cooldown once you max the skills, and you can actually freeze an enemy on crit, so you definitely want to have a high crit rate for Sigmarus. For the second skill, but also for the third skill. The third skill does damage based on enemy HP. That's going to be the boss's HP, which means that very high HP bosses take a lot of damage from this skill. Plus it's an AoE skill, so you can actually do a lot of damage to multiple mobs at once, and it decreases attack power, so it helps survivability of your team. Again, it's worth maxing, both for the damage as well as for the cooldown reduction here. Now, crit damage is really essential for Sigmarus because defense break, brand, crit damage, these are things that increase the damage of this third skill quite a bit. The leader skill is actually a pretty hefty bit of HP, 44% HP for all of your monsters. This makes Sigmarus a really good choice for dungeons such as giants and dragons, and one of the reasons why he's so useful to fuse. Let me show you my safe teams. They're slightly slower than my fast teams, but they're 100% safe in general. So this is the team I use for giants with Sigmarus as leader, and I can usually finish in about a minute and a half, minute 45 seconds, something like that. Here's my safe dragon speed team. I go straight to the boss with this. Again, Sigmarus is included, and typically finishes in maybe 2.5 minutes. So you can also use Sigmarus in PvP, although it's gotten a little bit harder these days with a lot of mobs like Ritesh and Theomars out there. But if you can protect Sigmarus, then he does make a pretty decent, pretty much a single target attacker in most situations. For those who don't really have other tankier nukes. I ended up using Sigmarus quite a bit, but that was over a year ago, before Theomars, etc. was so common in Guild Wars, etc. Actually, I mean, Guild Wars wasn't even out back then when I was using Sigmarus at first. But just to show you the true potential of Sigmarus and his third skill, let me pull on a screenshot I had here from, again, over a year ago. This is the Water B10 boss with defense break on the boss as well as all 3 towers. You can see that Sig's AoE here is doing over 400,000 to the left tower, over 300,000 to the boss, and 75,000 to the right tower. So altogether that's over 860,000 damage. If I had put Brand up there, or really if my runes and glory buildings were better as they would be today, that damage could easily get up to 1 million. So if you enjoy seeing big numbers, then Sigmarus can be fun to use just to see the large numbers on the Water B10 boss like this. So hopefully you found this useful. If you're new to the game and you don't have Sigmarus, I highly recommend that you fuse him. Feel free to leave comments with any questions, suggestions, etc., and subscribe to keep them coming. Thanks.